All right, Grote, what do we need to know?
All right. First of all, let's do the injury report, get you up to date on everybody that did and did not practice today, and then some updates on guys that have been out for a little while here. So first, TJ Edwards continues to not practice, hand and hamstring. DJ Moore took the day off today, shoulder. Rome Odunze did not practice because of his ankle. Jaquan Brisker was out due to a back injury. Kevin Byard getting a rest day. Same for Grady Jarrett. Tyreek Stevenson missed the practice today due to the shoulder injury, and Jahade Walker is in concussion protocol right now. I will just say this about those that did not practice. This has become a pattern for the Bears where they are pretty cautious about their guys like DJ Moore, like Rome Odunze, like Kevin Byard, obviously, who I just said is just resting. So I expect that to change drastically tomorrow, but we will wait and see. Limited. Cole Kmet practiced, but on a limited basis because of his back. Dominique Robinson, ankle, and DeAndre Swift was limited because of the hip. Good news is that one of the Bears' best special teams guys, Josh Blackwell, out on the field. Now, even more importantly, some people may have seen some things popping up on Instagram. Jalen Johnson saying some things that made it sound like he may be on the comeback right now. Here is the update on both Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. According to Ben Johnson, they should be able to get them back at some point at the end of this season, but to be determined on when those clocks will start clicking, as Ben Johnson put it. Johnson also said that he chatted with Jalen Johnson, who is in the building. He is in this building right here, talked to him in the weight room today, and that Jalen is expected, saying that he is excited, I should say, with where he is, and that he's hopeful that he's going to be out on the practice field in the near future. Those are, again, the words of Ben Johnson. As far as Kyler Gordon is concerned, I guess we could say that the circumstances are similar to what we heard early on. The Bears are still thinking that it'll be short-term IR, which is 4 weeks these days for Kyler Gordon. So I think those are fairly positive updates in terms of those two obviously extraordinarily important players for the Bears, guys.
So go ahead, Grote.
No, I was just going to get right into the audio. If you guys got any questions about those dudes?
Just the one that really concerns me is TJ Edwards. That's the one Wednesday miss that still jumps out because you figured if he's on the way back, then hopefully he'd be limited. Any feel for if this is another week without him? The run game defense really hurts without him.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Spiegel. And it's been a weird year for TJ Edwards. We just really haven't felt his impact because of injuries this year. I can't call it right now, but I will say this, that they were talking about how they're going to club him up, put the club on his hand. That to me suggests that he is closer to being ready than not, because if they're already saying, well, once he plays, he's got to put the club on. Now, they could be talking about that 2 weeks from now, but that suggests to me that, and I cannot guarantee that he's going to play this week, that suggests to me that he's probably pretty close. So we will wait and see, and we'll see what this injury report looks like tomorrow.
All right, so let's hear about the quarterback.
Yeah, so big conversation, guys, today from Caleb Williams and the media out here at Halas Hall about Caleb's ability this year to avoid sacks. He had 38 sacks at this time last year en route to 68. Just 14 sacks this year. And he talked about all that went into that. He gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, gave credit to the coaching staff for hitting, telling him, making sure to get rid of the ball more quickly, all of that. But here's where the conversation got a little bit more complicated, because Ben Johnson has also spoken to Caleb Williams about hanging in the pocket just a tick longer in order to make big plays down the field or in the flats, as opposed to exiting the pocket too soon. So Caleb was asked, how do you train yourself to do that?
Yeah, it's interesting because you get just kind of the whole process is like, let's get the ball out faster. Let's, get through the reads. And, sometimes I get through my reads actually too fast, maybe because of leverage, or maybe because, the covers that I'm seeing. And, sometimes you just need to hang on. We got special guys. And so sometimes you need to hang on it and let it rip. And then other times, it's, there was a play that I actually avoided a sack, but I could have thrown a touchdown. this past game. And, it's those small things. It's like, just the big plays right there. I saw it and, I was about to rip it and I just saw, color flash. He was running right at me and I tried to get out of it, got out of it and, threw in completion. It's those things that, the next level, and something that I talk about with Coach all the time is, that's the next level is, I do have this ability to get out of stuff, but also there's going to be times where, it's just going to drop back and, let's deliver a ball. And I've done it, every so often or whatever, but, just doing that more often and, just finding the balance is tough, but, that's what we're searching for.
He sounds good. Like that's that specific play that Matt Bowen brought up to us, and then Ben brought up yesterday with DJ Moore in the back of the end zone. And he could have broken contain and then made the throw instead of doing the big scramble all around. I mean, it sounds like he's dealing with the criticism as things are going well. Okay. I don't know that means he's going to improve, but it sounds like he's in a good headspace about it.
It's hard. Like this is the tough part for Caleb, because it's pretty clear to me that if they were going to accomplish one thing this year, it was teaching Caleb Williams how to avoid being sacked nearly 70 times in a season. And he knows that he's culpable for a lot of the sacks that occurred last year. So they want him to do that. They want him to get out of there and get out of bounds or throw the ball away. But at the same time, there's that fine line of, can you hang in the pocket just one more second before you eject to avoid those sacks? So I don't think sympathy is the word, but I felt the breadth of how hard that probably is for Caleb Williams or any quarterback. And he talked about it, and I loved what he said. He admitted, Caleb did, that's the next level. That is the next level. Like if we're all following development of Caleb Williams, which we are all doing fastidiously, like that's what it is. And he's telling us, okay, I got some things down, but there are other parts that this is the quarterback telling you that is the next level that I need to accomplish. He knows it, which is heartening, I think, from a coaching perspective and from the quarterback perspective.
I wonder too with Caleb in the way that he works in the pocket and then getting outside and making runs. Like he's really tough. And I know that when it was draft time, we talked a lot about height. We didn't talk, I don't think, enough about weight. Like he's legitimately 230 pounds. And so he's kind of built like an old school running back. I know that there's luck involved in not being taken to the ground, but watching it play out where these guys are trying to get him on the ground and are not being successful is kind of hilarious, which is why I liked when the Bears put out the old-timey video that they put out of him scrambling around like it's Charlie Chaplin or whatever. But it was pretty funny to me. That I would love to know what goes into that brilliance, but I'm not even sure you can put it into words.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And look, you're right. Like he is a thick quarterback. There's no doubt about it. And when you add that elusivity and the fact that I'll tell you what's on my mind when you talk about that, Lawrence, I'm still like baffled at times that there's been at least 3 or 4 times this year where, and for various reasons, whether it's the offensive line or Caleb, where they have needed 1 yard and they've done the sneak and it doesn't work. And I always look at somebody like Caleb Williams, like he should be the quintessential sneak quarterback because of what you just said, because of his strength, which is like, we don't really talk about that much, but it really is interesting. All the different flavors and possibilities for Caleb and all the stuff that's in it. Like I could feel it. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that's got to be in his head at a moment's notice in a split second, making these decisions. I think I was reminded today that it's very difficult no matter who you are.
It's a big ask what's being asked of him to be the jazz musician who is learning how to lead the orchestra. He's got to do it for the entire game though, Mark, not just the end.
By the way, I'm Miles Davis over everybody else. I was listening to you guys yesterday, so that's what's that album called? Blue.
Kind of blue. Kind of blue.
Oh my God. My God.
Bill
that
Evans.
Is haunting and beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a jazz man.
Not necessarily, but I watched I think it's a Netflix documentary on Miles Davis, which I've watched like multiple times now, like about his life and his skills. And so I just kind of really became fascinated by him. So I haven't done my jazz deep dive, but I am fascinated with the life and talent of Miles Davis. But that's probably not what our listeners are as interested in hearing about.
That's not why we called. Not why we called.
That's not why we called. Caleb Williams, we know he's great in the fourth. I've said it. I'm sure you guys have said it. Hey, how about being great for 4 quarters? And that came up delicately. And I thought Jason Leisure posed the question really well the way he put it.
I mean, respectfully, just to try to understand better, why can't you do that all the time? Why can't you play like the last 5 minutes of the whole game?
I don't know. I think that's something that we want to get down, and I think it's not only just from my side of it, it's just everybody understanding the what we can be on offense, and we can score fast, we can march down and score in 13 play drives and things like that, and just being able to do that and be efficient instead of having some 3 and outs or anything like that. We got some special talent on our side of the ball. And then towards the end of the game, it's time to go in the game, and you just kind of get into that mode. And like I've said before, defenses have kind of shown you throughout the whole game of what they've kind of game plan for you. And so you get into a rhythm, you get into a flow towards the end of the game, and the mindset changes. I would say just in the sense of we have no other option at that point.
So do you think in those last 5 minutes that you may be a little faster, a little more decisive, less inhibited because it's like I said, do or die?
Yeah, I think anytime somebody goes into the fight or flight mode, and you just kind of start flying, you get into a mode, and you don't feel anything. Like I said, you're flying at that moment, and you got to go do it. So you go into kind of the survival mode, and I think I wouldn't say that I get faster or I get more decisive, anything like that. I think it just comes down to we got to win a ball game, and here we go.
That's when you wonder whether a coach could go to that fast pace and try to simulate that for other parts of the game, whether it's the no huddle or just telling him, just feel like you do right now, like it's the last 5 minutes.
I have a working theory on this.
Okay.
That theory is that late in the game, especially trailing, you're playing with 4 downs. And it just feels different knowing, what, I can take that extra shot downfield because I know that we're playing with an extra down.
It's a good theory, but don't you think a Ben Johnson team is supposed to think that way the whole game?
Yeah, but
like a Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson game.
100%.
To your point.
But if you're playing like in negative territory as you're trying to catch up and let's say you're on your own 37.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to play 4 downs, but when you go out there and you're like, I know we're playing 4 downs, let it rip.
I just got to ball out and not be worried about situations and preserving. That makes sense, Grote.
I think we're all motivated too when you're desperate. Like, just think about it. Like, we all act differently. We all do things a little bit more concisely. We do what we have to do when we're desperate. So I do think that there's something to, and I understand what Caleb is saying, but there's got to be something to it, right? I mean, it's winning time, and this is going to sound like going against the grain here, but you kind of got nothing to lose. Like, at the end, it's like, you got to just do this, man. You got to let whatever you got in the tank at that. It's like a closer coming into a game. You got to let it all out. You got to do what you got to do. It's winning time. So I understood where he was coming from there on that as well. Gentlemen, the Bears will be going up against a gentleman by the name of Justin Jefferson this week.
He's pretty good.
Minnesota. Yeah, he's been one of the best. And so I wanted to get into the mind of somebody in that Bears locker room about Justin Jefferson and what makes him tick. CJ, CD, Gardner-Johnson was the one I spoke to about Justin Jefferson.
What separates a great wide receiver like Justin Jefferson from somebody who's just good or average? Because everybody's fast, everybody's athletic. What separates a guy like him?
He knows how to help his team win. He's a productive player, and the more I've seen him on the film and more I played against him, there's nothing you really can do besides like try to contain him. It's a dominant player, man. I just, as a team, we got to do our to keep him in the box and try to do what we can do to contain him.
Why is he great, though? Can you pinpoint it?
Man, he can block, he can catch screens, run the ball. He's one of a kind. He's a unicorn.
And he's one of those guys, too, who you can't get that down if he's making plays. Like, you kind of just said it. Like, you got to contain him, right?
You got to do what you got to do, play with the defense, and don't get frustrated.
Now, we got to stop with the unicorn. We have to stop. Not everybody is a unicorn. Justin Jefferson is a great wide receiver. In absolutely no freaking way is he a unicorn. We just saw one in Victor Wembanyama. That's the only unicorn who's been in our sports diet this week. Apologies to Darnell Wright, but he's not one either. I'm Team Tony Wise on this. Let's stop.
And when you consider that if you ask 100 people who the best wide receiver in the league is,
you get 50 different answers.
Well, yeah. I think that most people would say Justin Jefferson
I'll say Jamar Chase.
Correct.
Yeah.
So therefore,
he's not a unicorn. It's ridiculous.
He's really great,
I'm thinking about a guy that played in the franchise a long time ago, a guy by the name of Randy Moss, who probably was more of a unicorn. And I think of like Megatron Calvin Thomas back in the
Calvin Johnson.
Excuse me. Not the ex-Bears fullback from the 85 Bears. That's more like a unicorn. But
none of them
I
are.
understand what he's saying. I mean, Justin Jefferson might be the best.
Harold Carmichael was a unicorn. Okay,
yeah, he was. Good old number 17.
Oh, thank you for that. So stop. You tell CJ next time you see him to stop.
He does not have a horn, so
yes,
he is, I can confirm.
Disgusting.
He's actually not a unicorn, nor is Darnell.
That
Wright.
broke me. That broke me on the unicorn thing.
You had
it
to
just
stand
broke me.
up.
I did.
And for yourself and for your team in that moment.
And for unicorns. I'm standing up for unicorns.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Well, and the other part is the thing that the Bears didn't have to worry about in game one was Jordan Addison.
Uh-huh.
And now Jordan Addison is back. So we'll see where the coverage rolls to with those two guys being on the field.
And he hurt the Bears worse last year than Justin. What did he have, a game where he had 130 or 40 yards, I think? And he and Zacchaeus, Gardner-Johnson referred to him as gritty. He's the gritty guy out of those two.
He's a gritty unicorn.
Yeah, it's a gritty unicorn.
Sorry,
exactly.
I'm still pissed off here. Go ahead, Mark. What about the drops? What about the drops?
Yeah. Let me get you. You're gonna be doing jumping jacks in a second. You're gonna be so pumped up about Olamide Zacchaeus. And unfortunately, I guess he's the spokesperson for what were officially went down as 6 drops. Zacchaeus certainly wasn't the only guilty party when it came down to it. Ben Johnson said that he thought it was an anomaly, that's a one-time thing, that ain't going to happen again. So I did ask Olamide Zacchaeus about what Ben Johnson said.
Do you agree with that? And what do you think was going on in that anomaly?
I mean, most definitely. Like, it's just one of those games. Like, things happen, but, we were able to find a way to win that game, so that was the most important part. But it's just getting back to, the routine and then just knowing that wasn't what we want to put on film.
And I know, none of you guys are saying it, but I am asking you, how much of an effect is the cold, the ball on a day like that? Does that play a part in it?
It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, our job is to make those plays, and, that's what we'll do moving forward.
Even the win, is that something that you have to adjust to and get accustomed to?
I mean, yeah, but like I said, it's everybody's playing in those conditions, so you just got to find a way to make those plays.
So when you're in the room, do the coaches
That's a veteran
talk
right
about
there,
that?
folks.
Do you guys have your own system of accountability with that?
Yeah, and we know what we need to do moving forward. Like I said, it's a bad game, especially on my part, but we're just that wasn't us. That's not what we want to put on film.
Our own system of accountability. Were you guys running laps? I wonder. All right, here's my question.
I feel bad for him because he's been
real good,
really good, and he was good blocking last week too. Drops happen.
Yeah, they do. Last week they were close for the first time all year. 39 snaps for Zacchaeus, 33 snaps for Luther Burden III.
That flips.
Right?
Sunday.
That's what I'm saying. Luther Burden III has more snaps than Olamide Zacchaeus on Sunday. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think it's been. I don't want to get carried away with Luther Burden because his development has been perfect so far.
That's why I say it's just a flip. It's not. It's 39 to 33. Yeah. It's not. 60 to 12.
No.
I got you. Yeah, that would be a normal evolution. Yeah.
I looked up Jordan Addison's numbers last year against the Bears. On 19 targets in the 2 games, he caught 15 passes for 215 yards and a touchdown.
He was crying, though. Brisker had him crying. Good question from a texter. If a unicorn is a wide receiver, are you allowed to tackle them by the horn? Or is that like a horse collar? Can you grab the hair?
Is the horn inside the helmet?
That's a great question.
Well,
I would assume the helmet has a special shape where the horn is inside a horn shape in the helmet. Right?
Exactly. Yes, Riddell has made a new helmet for the unicorns that exist on the Bears. Yes.
Nuggets and tidbits.
Thank you, Grote.
Oh, man. I think we should try to think about who the next unicorn is going to be. Just a couple things. I know you guys got to get out of here. Jaquan Brisker, like we said, did not practice it because of the shoulder injury. There was some concern, like everybody up in the press box when he got hurt in that game, saw his head hit the turf.
Yes.
So everybody was like, oh, man. And so I asked him if that's why he left the game. Like, did the shoulder injury occur on that play? He said yes, which makes me feel better that the head is okay and that has nothing to do with it. And he sounded pretty optimistic. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Optimistic that he would be able to play this upcoming Sunday. The other one, too, is here, back to CD Gardner-Johnson. I did ask him about the name thing because every time I call him CD on the air, I get texters trying to correct me. So why do you keep calling him CD? Why do you keep calling him CD? So I said, are we still at CD? He said, you can call me like CD, CJ, all the C's. He said, the only thing you can't call him is Chauncey because he says that's his dad. So that's a very important clarification for everybody.
That's fair.
Good to know.
Yeah. Thanks, Grote.
Yep. See you guys.